Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it's time once again for another movie review. This time around I'll be looking at Race with the Devil, starring Peter Fonda, Warren Oates, Loretta Swit, and Laura Parker. This came out on a double feature, action-packed double feature pack from Shout Factory back in 2011. And this is a movie, this is a movie that I saw back when I was 7 years old. My parents used to take me to the drive-in to see all sorts of interesting movies when it probably wasn't age appropriate. So when all my friends were going to see Escape to Witch Mountain or The Apple Dumpling Gang, I was going to the drive-in to see Race with the Devil. Although I did eventually get to go see The Apple Dumpling Gang and Escape to Witch Mountain. But yeah, I'm not really sure what that says about my parents or what I ended up, how I ended up. But this is a interesting movie. This is a movie where you've got two couples, Alice and Frank, played by Loretta Swit and Warren Oates, and Roger and Kelly, who are played by Peter Fonda and Laura Parker. Laura Parker, known for Dark Shadows, and of course Peter Fonda, known for Easy Rider and Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry, which is actually on this particular disc as well. And of course Loretta Swit from MASH is Alice, and Warren Oates is known for Stripes and The Wild Bunch and Blue Thunder, among others. He's got a very storied career. Anyway, they play these two couples, and they really need a vacation. Frank and Roger, they run a motorcycle dealership in San Antonio, Texas, and so they get an RV, $36,000 RV. They make a point of saying in the movie. And they're going to go skiing in Colorado, but they have to drive there. And as they make their way through central Texas, they stop in an open field, set up camp, and during the day they race their dirt bikes. Roger and Frank do. And then at night, Roger and Frank are sitting outside having a few drinks, just sort of relaxing, and they notice a flame across the river from where they are, and it turns out to be this satanic ritual. And they see these people who are initially in robes, and then the robes get discarded, and there's all these naked people dancing around a fire, and they think, oh boy, it's an orgy. This is going to be great. So they start watching it through binoculars, and it turns out they watch a human sacrifice. And then Loretta Swit's character, Alice, starts yelling at them for them to come in, and she alerts the Satanists unwittingly, and they start chasing them. And of course, the couples have to make their getaway, and the Satanists start following them. Well, the next morning, they manage to get away, but then the next morning, the couples report it to the local sheriff, who's played by R.G. Armstrong, and he sort of poo-poos them and says, oh, it probably wasn't anything. You probably saw a bunch of hippies dancing around a fire and doing something, things like that happen around here all the time, and, we've got problems with hippies. And they were like, well, these weren't hippies. This was a murder. So they go to the scene, and they find some blood, but the sheriff is like, oh, could be dog blood, could be anything. They do find a dead dog at the scene, but the sheriff is really kind of keeping them at arm's length, and he doesn't really want to talk about it. He just says, go on with your vacation. I'll look into this. I'll investigate it, and I'll let you know what I find out. So there's some damage to their RV. They have to get that repaired, so they stop in the local town, and they start finding, as they move away from this crime scene, things are starting to get weird. And after they've reported to the sheriff, a series of events starts occurring, and the tension starts getting weird, or starts getting heavy. They feel like they're being followed, and a sense of paranoia sort of takes over the film, and I'll just leave it at that. This is a very simple film. It's a very simple story. It's a horror-themed action movie, and to really think of it as anything else is really overthinking it, I think. I've seen some reviews where people are disappointed that there's not more occult content in it, or that they wanted more information about the satanic cult or where they came from. I think that may be from younger audiences, maybe older audiences who know the formula for a drive-in film probably will appreciate it more, because literally all this is get some people on the road, get some people chasing them, and have an excuse for confrontation and car chases. And that's really all this movie is. It's not meant to be some showdown of occult powers versus the good guys or anything. It's just an excuse for car chases and action, and that's what it delivers. It's a lot of fun, but don't overthink it. There's no characterizations. The acting is good, the directing is great, the action scenes are fantastic, but this is just drive-in fodder, and it succeeds very well at what it does. It was directed by Jack Starrett, who you may know as an actor from First Blood. He was also in Blazing Saddles. He played Gabby Johnson. But you may know him as a director. He also did Cleopatra Jones. He did a bunch of TV work, including Hill Street Blues and some other stuff. He also plays in this movie. He plays a gas station attendant. He has an extended cameo in this. So it's just sort of a happy amalgamation of 1970s culture kind of thrown together into what is really just an enjoyable drive-in movie that is nothing more, nothing less. It's got some pacing issues in the middle. It sort of starts to get a little flat in the middle, but then it picks back up, and it really builds to a very satisfying ending. And I enjoyed it a lot. But I can't tell you it's Oscar-winning material. You know, this is not a great movie. I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10 because it's just an average movie, but it's a lot of fun. So I can't give it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, but it's a 6 out of 10 movie. You're getting a low budget drive-in movie that's just filler. I mean, that's what it is. There's no heavy script. There's no great special effects. There's a lot of great action, but there's not a lot of meat on the bones as far as, digging your teeth into it. It's just something to kill an hour and a half. It does that very well. That's what it was made to do. And yeah, it's enjoyable for that. So Race with the Devil from 1975, Jack Starrett directing, Warren Oates, Peter Fonda, Laura Parker, Loretta Swit from MASH. You could do a lot worse. I also did see Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry when I was going to the drive-in with my parents. That came out a year before, and I have not seen that since, so I need to rewatch that, but you're not here for that. So anyway, this is the end of the review. Thank you for making it here. I appreciate your attention span. And thanks for listening to me babble for 8 minutes. And I appreciate all of you coming here for these reviews on Sunday. This will be the last one for a month. I will be kicking off the Halloween 15 in a few days. And so then we'll return to the reviews on Sundays back in November when the Halloween 15 is over. So I appreciate you guys voting on this film and choosing it for me. It was nice to revisit it 50 years later. Because it's been 50 years since I saw this movie for the first time. So yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. Take it easy.